All right, let's welcome the class of 2023. Go Bear Cubs! As they enter Bailey Field, the Santa Rosa Junior College class of 2023. Let's welcome our faculty. Let's give our faculty a big round of applause. The faculty of Santa Rosa Junior College. Welcome the students from the class of 2023. Students soon to be graduates. Let's give our faculty a big round of applause. They're the ones who got your children here today. All right. Let's welcome our students, the class of 2023. Give them a warm, rousing applause as they enter Bailey Field for their last lap around the track. Our SRJC faculty. Put some pants on. Kenahan. Kenahan, put some pants on. Class of 2023. Once a coach, always a coach. He doesn't own long pants. What a sight. All right. The class of 2023. Good job. All right. Our distinguished marshals coming in. Byron. What a sight. The class of 2023. SRJC. All right. Let's give them a rousing round of applause as they enter Bailey Field for this wonderful ceremony. Can you ask the groundskeeper they can turn the sprinklers off now? All right, we're getting there. Welcome. All right.
Oh, you're pretty good, actually.
Class of 2023 as they enter the stadium. The best class yet. Next to green generation. All right, class of 2023. Let's give them a warm, rousing applause as they get seated. We have so many graduates, they're backed up like Highway 101 and rush hour. Let's get them in here. Let's get the party started. right, it's filling up. The class of 2023. You did it. All right, it's filling up nicely. All right. Let's get them in here. And thank you, groundskeeper, for turning off the sprinkler heads. Waiting for the sun to come out. Let's do it. Let's get this party started. Coming in, they're almost done. Let's give them a big round of applause. Class of 2023 as they enter the stadium at Bailey Field. The 104th graduating class. Can you believe that? A 104. All right. Wonderful. Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem sung by soloist Stephanie Beard. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Before Stephanie sings the national anthem in honor of the upcoming Memorial Day, I would ask you to for a moment of silence to remember and honor our military men and women who died while serving our country. Please, a moment of silence. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow. Stephanie Beer, let's give her one more round of applause. Thank you, Stephanie. Please be seated. Good morning, graduates and honored guests. My name is Frank Chong, and I have an honor and privilege to serve as only the 5th president in the history of Santa Rosa Junior College. Welcome to the 104th graduation. Before we begin, I would like to recite our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we gather at Santa Rosa Junior College on the territorial traditional land of the Pomo people of Santa Rosa and the Coast Miwok people in Petaluma, past and present, and honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have stewarded throughout generations. I'd like to begin by thanking my colleagues who join me on the stage. First, Board President Dorothy Battenfeld. Trustee, please stand, Caroline Benuelos. Trustee Ezra Shaban. Trustee Maggie Fishman. Trustee Terry Lindley. Trustee Mariana Martinez. Trustee Michael Valdovinos. Our special guest, our commencement speaker, Herman G. Hernandez. Student speaker, Daniela Ingragiola. Our interim vice president of student services, Robert Ethington. Our vice president of academic affairs, Dr. Robert Holcomb. Our student government assembly president, Abria Tillman. Our academic senate president, Nancy Persons. Our classified senate president, Debbie Weatherly. Last but not least, I want to recognize our sign language interpreters, Tony Oliver and a Dreamer. It is indeed a special day for our graduates, their families, friends, as well as our faculty, classified professionals, and administrators. For myself, personally, this is a very, very special day as I address you for the last time as your president at Santa Rosa Junior College. I too am graduating with you and will begin my retirement at the conclusion of the semester. As I reflect back on these years, I'd like to share some observations and insights that you might find useful as you and I march out here today. For you, the beginning of a new season, and for me, entering the seventh inning in the game of life. The first insight is never waste a disaster. Turn it into an opportunity instead. My time at SRJC has been filled with wildfires, smoke, floods, and worldwide pandemic. I've been jokingly referred to as the master of disaster. The 2017 Tubbs Fire was one of the worst wildfires in the history of California. We lost over 5,400 homes and structures. More importantly, 74 lives were lost and over 1,000 families were displaced. SRJC stepped up, and our foundation raised over $500,000 and provided support for our students and employees who lost their homes. Thank you. Our Culinary Arts Department fed thousands of firefighters. Our Police and Fire Tech program provided reinforcements for our weary public safety county workers. Our nursing department volunteered at shelters. We took care of one another. And when the COVID-19 pandemic started in March of 2020, our college went into emergency response mode again. Our administrators worked alongside our dedicated faculty and staff to pivot and resume online instruction in less than 3 weeks. Our nursing and public safety programs resumed in-person instruction using masking and distance protocols so our students could continue their training without disruption. We distributed over 4,000 laptops, 1,400 hotspots, thousands of food, and most importantly, provided $18 million directly to our students. We went from, you can clap, I like to say we went from, I hate distance learning to, do we really need to come back? I like working in my pajamas. I value my peace and quiet. So the point is, we are stronger together. Believe me, as much as I wish for you a world of harmony, we are far from that. From gun violence to fentanyl, from global warming to social unrest, from homelessness to DEI issues, we need your brainpower, creativity, innovation, and a fresh new way to address these seemingly impossible challenges. However, I still hold out hope, though, because I see our students working hard every day to address many of these issues in their classrooms, in their clubs, in their internships, and yes, many of you have full-time jobs which you hold while attending school full-time. The second insight I want to share with you is to build your community. I cannot leave SRJC without thanking the many, many people who encouraged me, challenged me, and yes, even criticized me. With the support of our great internal community, which you see behind you, and the entire Sonoma County community, which you see in the stands to the left and to the right, with the support, I am leaving SRJ, I believe, better than I found it. We passed Measure H, a $410 million bond issue to support the upgrading of facilities and the construction of amazing buildings such as the Lindley Center for STEM Education, the modernization of Burbank, and the refurbishment of the athletic fields and an Olympic-sized swimming pool, which I hope to jump into this summer. These athletic fields which you're sitting on are the result of the generosity of our taxpayers. We also built a construction training center at Petaluma to train the future electricians, carpenters, and HVAC workers in Sonoma County and the region. We passed Measure O to fund much-needed mental health services for our students. We expanded our fire technology program to help combat the ravages of global warming. We grew our SRJC Foundation under the leadership of Jay Molyneux and his staff from $26 million when I arrived in 2012 to over $70 million today to support student scholarships and programs. Let's give them a big round of applause. Finally, we're completing the Polly O'Meara Doyle Hall, which will provide affordable housing and on-campus housing for 352 students this August. None of this would have been possible without our community. My only request from you is that you support our incoming president, Dr. Angelica Garcia, the way you supported me as your departing president. Since 2012, I've had the honor and pleasure of presiding over 11 commencements and granting degrees and certificates to over 22,000 students. Clearly, I saved the best for last, right? Today, we celebrate the awarding of more than 1,900 associate degrees, each one of a student who studied hard and faced challenges head-on. I am incredibly proud of the achievements of all of our graduates, and especially our very first graduate from Juvenile Hall. This student, who remains anonymous for their protection, is a first-generation college student who began taking classes while incarcerated and currently has a 3.5 GPA and is graduating with high honors. Quite an accomplishment. Their experience has helped connect them to the community and given them a new outlook on life. According to the student, SRJC provided them with the resources they need in order to reintegrate into society when they are released. Congratulations to this student. And there are so many other stories of overcoming challenges and celebrating students' success amongst our students, like Jillian Davidson. Jillian grew up very poor, spent her teen years in a group home. She had a daughter at 19, and at the age of 22, Jillian was in a serious car accident which left her a quadriplegic. Becoming disabled at 22, she had to learn how to create a new and effective ways to do things, including successfully raising her daughter as a single mom. While at SRJC, Jillian took advantage of financial and student support programs to overcome the many barriers she faced. She received support from the Disability Resource Department, attended weekly tutorial sessions with the help of math classes, and then she received scholarships through the SRJC Foundation. Jillian has worked hard and is very deserving of her success. Despite internal doubts about her academic and personal abilities, Jillian took advantage of the resources and support that SRJC offered, and she's transferring to my alma mater, UC Berkeley, in the fall. Go Bears! So Jillian has a bright future ahead, and we're also proud of what she accomplished. Congratulations, Jillian. Give her a pause. Thank you. Wonderful stories. Some of today's graduates even work at SRJC or have relatives who work at the college, such as Marcello Vasquez, son of Counselor Anthony Vasquez, Shrina Desai, daughter of payroll manager Deepa Desai, Grace Vidori, daughter of Director of Student Engagement and Support Services for SRJC Petaluma, Michelle Vidori, Gabriella Gathman, daughter of faculty member Teresa Gathman, Adriana Bersato, niece of Counselor Jeff Navarro. I hope you know how proud we are of all the graduates and everything you overcame to walk across the graduation stage. So as I leave you here today, I hope you always remember to turn in disasters into opportunities and build your community to support you. But most importantly, I hope you come back. No matter what life throws you, you're always welcome here at SRJC. Consider us your second home. Whether you need to upskill, reskill, change jobs, or take classes for fun, SRJC will always be there for you. And you'll probably see me returning too after I retire for a language class or a lap in our new pool. SRJC is poised for even greater days ahead, and for that, I am grateful and energized. I will close with a quote attributed to my retired friend and colleague, Mark Mitsui, who is the former president of Portland Community College. And he said to a group of us once, "Frank, talent is universal, but opportunity is not. Talent is universal, but opportunity is not. Not everybody gets to go to college, but you're here. SRJC has given you the opportunity. Now go out there and show off your amazing talent. Congratulations, class of 2023. It is now my pleasure and honor to introduce a very special person who has been very supportive and works very hard for the college, SRJC Board President Dorothy Battenfeld, to introduce our student speaker. Please join me in welcoming Board President Battenfeld.
Good morning. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to congratulate all of you on your many achievements, your efforts and accomplishments in the face of so many challenges and roadblocks are truly an inspiration to all of us. I want to thank your families and your SRJC teachers and staff who have collectively supported you in reaching this important goal. I also want to give very special thanks to Dr. Chong for his many years of dedicated and caring leadership at SRJC. I have confidence that you will use what you have learned at SRJC to bring your new skills, your ideas in service to your communities, and that you will lead with compassion. My 9-year-old granddaughter tells me that she wants to help make the world a better place, to make sure that everyone is included and valued while also having lots of fun. And I think that is an important message for all of us today. It is really an honor to introduce our student speaker, Daniela Ingargiola. Her story portrays the positive impact that SRJC has on students and their lives and exemplifies the many accomplishments of all you graduates. Daniela is a biology major from Novato. She is a recipient of the Chemistry Department Scholarship, the Dream Big Scholarship, the Harris Family SRJC Teaching Fellows Award. Daniela will be transferring to UC Davis. She plans to apply to veterinary school upon completion of her bachelor's degree. In her spare time, she practices yoga, watercolor painting, and enjoys spending time in nature with her dog, Blue. Please join me in welcoming our amazing student speaker, Daniela Ingargiola.
All right.
Thank you.
Good morning and congratulations, graduating class of 2023. If you're not familiar with the scientific method, today you are going to learn something new. The scientific method has 6 steps. The first being your observations. Then you come up with your questions, you form a hypothesis, you test your experiment, and you follow it up with your conclusions and results. Now you may be wondering, why am I even talking about the scientific method? And I know if you're a STEM student in this crowd, you'd rather not learn this again. But today, I'm going to present it to you from a different angle. I want to invite my classmates to go back in time and think about the first moments you played with the idea of attending community college. What were your observations? What were your questions? I know I had many thoughts and doubts like, what do I even want to do with my future? Am I capable of succeeding in college? How long will it take me? What will my friends and family think of me for not attending a 4-year university? Before you knew it, you were making the idea of going to community college a reality. You swallowed those scary questions and doubts and took the risk to enroll. Now this is the fun part. You began to experiment. Now you always hear people say that when you're in college, you will change your major a couple of times. Well, community college allowed me to change my major a generous handful of times. And it was truly one of the best things for me. Because today, I stand here knowing exactly what I want with my future. And exactly what I do not want. And I was able to accomplish this while leaving SRJC with 0 tuition debt. Now, this is one of many reasons why community college is so impactful. We have curated a safe and affordable space to allow people from all walks of life to experiment with their interests. Community college does not care how old you are, what your gender is, your ethnicity, sexuality, or whatever it may be. But what we do care about is supporting you in figuring out what you want to gain out of your journey. Fast forward to today, you are sitting in your graduation seat with your cap and gown, concluding your time at SRJC and accepting your results in the form of a diploma. Now, this may seem like a quick and easy 6-step scientific process, but I want loved ones, staff, faculty, and anyone out there to understand that for us students, it was far from that. People only see your results. They're not there watching you spend your whole day in the library or crying after a bad exam or a failed class and spending countless hours in the tutorial center, especially if you've ever taken a physics class here. Many students here have families to go home and take care of, or they have no choice but to work while in school, and many, many other obligations left unsaid. This is what makes community college students very special people. You will not find a more persistent, resilient, and ambitious person than a community college graduate. So whatever your next move is, whether it's a new university or you are starting your career, remember, you have this piece of evidence, your results. And if you cannot see the end goal, or if you feel discouraged, look back at what you accomplished on this day of May 27th, 2023, and reflect on how you felt when you made your first observations about community college. Because if you can make it to this point, you can make it anywhere. It's scientifically proven. Again, congratulations to the class of 2023. I am so proud of you all. Thank you.
Thank you for those words of wisdom from a scientific perspective. I would now like to introduce the SRJC Concert Choir conducted by its director, Jody Beneke. Let's give them a round of applause.
Clouds
SRJC Chorus, directed by Jody Beneke. Let's give them a big round of applause. All right. Commencement speeches can be tricky. Gary Trudeau once observed that commencement speeches were created to ensure that graduates would not be released into the world without being properly sedated. But Gary didn't hear our next speaker. I will guarantee that he will inform and inspire you. When I first came to Sonoma County, I had the pleasure and privilege of meeting Herman and his dad, and they embraced me immediately, and they have been change agents in Sonoma County, and they formed an organization called Los 100, which Herman is now the president of. And he's also an elected official for the Sonoma County Board of Education and an SRJC graduate. It is now my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce you to our commencement speaker, Herman G. Hernandez.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. All right, what's going down, Bear Cubs? How's it going? Come on, let me hear you. I want the Bay Area to hear the graduating class of 2023. There we go. All right, and can I get a shout out for my bald people who wore sunscreen? So I keep forgetting these microphones are really good and I don't have to go down like this, but buenos dias a todos. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen and non-binary folks, distinguished guests, school board trustees, school leadership, faculty, teachers, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2023. I'd like to start this, well, not so beautiful morning, but it's beautiful because we're on this field today, but I want to start this beautiful morning with some extreme gratitude and love. Love for our parents, our familia, our personal champions, our teachers, our counselors, the people who supported us, the people who pushed us, the people who inspired us to be better. Today is about celebrating you, the graduates, and what you have achieved, but never forget that success is never accomplished alone. Let me repeat that. Success is never accomplished alone. And today, this graduation is a symbolic example of that very statement. So let's give it up for the person, the people, and the community that helped you accomplish today's milestone. I always forget to introduce myself, so it's an absolute honor and privilege to be here today to celebrate the class of 2023. My name is Herman G. Hernandez, and my pronouns are he, him, él, ellos, and my day job is having the honor of being the executive director of Los 100 Sonoma County, which Los 100 stands for or means the 100, or as the youth say these days, the 100. Of Sonoma County. We are a Latinx-led and equity-focused organization, but it's awesome to see all of you knowing that over 1,000 students are elevating into our community and graduating from the Santa Rosa Junior College. So big ups and congratulations. When Dr. Chong reached out to me and asked me if I would be the commencement speaker for today's graduation, I was literally speechless. I didn't know how to react. I didn't know what to say, and the energy within my body was one I had never, ever felt before. I think the feelings that went through my body and continue to run through my body as I stand before you are feelings of extreme humility and a great sense of privilege. Never ever did I think while studying in the Doyle Library back in 2005 or bumping Mac Dre through the many junior college parking lots or trying to stay awake in the comfy seats in Burbank Auditorium, never did I think that I'd be speaking at today's commencement, let alone any commencement in my life. And have I mentioned, Dr. Chong, that I absolutely hate public speaking? I'm terrified of it. It paralyzes my body every time I know I have to prepare and get in front of an audience. Even to this day, my stomach tightens, my hands get all clammy. Sorry, Dr. Martinez. And it's hard to pay attention to anything but the thought of being in front of the audience. And as a matter of fact, the first time I ever realized that I was deadly terrified of public speaking was actually on this campus, in Professor O'Neill's Speech 1A class. That Speech 1A class was no joke, and Professor O'Neill was as encouraging and supportive as they come. But nope, getting through a 5-minute presentation about your favorite athlete or hip-hop artist was not going to happen. And I'll never forget the 3 times I had to ask Professor O'Neill for permission to sit down because I couldn't get through my simple 5-minute presentation. It was embarrassing, it was demoralizing, and at 18, it shot my self-esteem. As time passed and I transferred to San Diego State University, my public speaking didn't improve and it never got more comfortable. But to this day, it's still a battle. But over time, I've learned that you can do anything in 15 seconds and that perfection is just an illusion. And what I mean by that is my anxiety leading up to speaking in front of an audience such as this is absolutely terrible. But if I can push through those first 15 seconds, then I'm able to keep speaking and deliver my message. The second thing, perfection isn't real. I'm no longer concerned about stuttering. I'm not worried about making the greatest speech of all time. What's more important, especially in my career today, is the fact that I use my voice and I speak up. How I say it is not as important as why I say it. And although I was not planning on making the opening part of my speech about my fear and challenges of public speaking, I feel it actually fits the main themes that I hope to leave with all of you today. And those are, number 1, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations is one of the greatest ways to grow. Number 2, maintaining a resilient nature and a positive outlook on life is the force and the light that helps you navigate the hard times and the dark times. Number 3, anything that happens in your life that is seen or felt as a negative can be turned into a positive through perspective, hard work, and never giving up. Nelson Mandela said, "Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." We always celebrate success, and we absolutely, yes, you can clap, yeah. We always celebrate success, and we absolutely should. But we rarely tend to reflect on the failures and the mistakes we have made along the path that helped us bridge our dreams to reality. Those experiences in life that we do not like to speak of, but have a huge impact on who we are. And honestly, I rarely speak of my own failures, let alone in public. But today I want to share 3 experiences that in the moment in time when they happened were seen and felt like monumental failures. In the middle of each overwhelming experience, I saw them as terribly tragic, possibly world-ending, and uncomfortable setbacks in my life's journey. Little did I know these failures provided fertile soil for growth in myself, and they helped me become a better person and helped me get to where I am today. Dropping out of Sacramento State University defined me in profound ways. By taking this unexpected leap, I didn't realize it then, but I had gained the freedom to explore what I, and not my parents or friends, but what I wanted to do with my life. It was the first time I realized the significance and the importance of being a first-generation college attendee, and what an honor and responsibility that truly is. It was the first time I realized the privilege that I had, and although I threw away a perfect opportunity to go directly to a 4-year college, it opened up so many other doors. It was also the decision that led me to the Santa Rosa Junior College and eventually prepared me for San Diego State University. And I gotta be honest, though I never thought it could get any worse than dropping out of college, and then I got a DUI. Looking back at it now, it was incredibly transformative, both emotionally and mentally. Dan was my therapist who brought the light back into my life. He built up my confidence like no other person had ever done before. He showed me the value of a mentor. He showed me the power I had within me when it came to bouncing back, and the value of celebrating your failures and turning negatives into positives. This 2-year relationship, forced on me by dumb decisions, was my metaphorical crossroads. Dan helped me get back on track. He helped me continue my path towards being the first in my family to graduate from college, and he helped me to humble myself and focus. And lastly, and most recently, there's no way I'd be speaking to you today if it were not for the blessing in disguise of getting fired from my first job out of college. Was it fair? No. Was it shameful and extremely embarrassing? Absolutely. And this one kills me the most because I was fired for doing exactly what they asked me to do. But now that I have job security and Dr. Chong is retiring, I'm not ashamed to share that. This firing introduced me to Senator Mike McGuire, who was running for state senate back in 2014, and it connected me to everyone and everything I know and do now. At the time, having zero knowledge of the political and social landscape, Senator McGuire gave me an opportunity to learn and grow. This was a life-changing decision that empowered me to embrace my true potential and forge my own path towards what I define as success. And most importantly, especially for today, this campaign is where I first met with the infamous Selfie King and Santa Rosa Junior College cheerleader, Dr. Frank Chong. So, we all have our own mistakes and failures that have helped us get to where we are today. As painful and embarrassing as they might be, I encourage you all to embrace them, celebrate them, appreciate them for what they truly are. Life lessons, wisdom, experience, perspective. Use them to your advantage. Use them to empower others. Keep turning those experiences or events that may be seen as negatives at the time into positives. There's a purpose for everything we encounter in our lives. So, before closing, I just want to take a moment to express my sincerest gratitude to Dr. Frank Chong for allowing me this great privilege of speaking today. This opportunity has really forced me to stop and reflect deeper on my personal journey. Dr. Chong, thank you so much for your 12 years of service and dedication to improving the lives of thousands of people who live, work, and study in Sonoma County and beyond. You are a true role model for all of us. And to quote the gentleman from the groundbreaking ceremony at the Santa Rosa Junior College Roseland Center, it was powerful and simple. Dr. Chong, thank you for leaving the Santa Rosa Junior College better than you found it. I think we got to give some Bear Cub love to Dr. Chong here. All right, let me bring it home here. Are you guys ready? All right, here we go. So lastly, class of 2023. Don't ever forget that you're one of the most resilient classes ever to attend this school. You overcame multiple fires, floods, power shutoffs, smoke bombs, an entire season of Tiger King, and a global pandemic. You have already proven that nothing can stop you. No other class has had to endure what you endured. So keep moving forward, keep making life choices that challenge you, leave room for mistakes, celebrate them, learn from them, keep surrounding yourself with people who support you, people who inspire you, and most importantly, never forget, success is never accomplished alone. Congratulations, and I cannot wait to see the positive change the class of 2023 brings, not just this county, but the whole world. Congratulations.
Herman, you did it, baby.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Wasn't that a great speech? Especially the part about me. He read it the way I wrote it. All right, let's keep going. It's my pleasure now to introduce to you our Academic Senate President, Nancy Persons.
Students, graduates, look at the waters you've parted, the terrain you've crossed to get to this place and this time in your lives. Our own Oak Leaf journalists called this time our climate catastrophe. You started there, and you worked your way here through multiple evacuations, perhaps lost or knew someone who lost loved ones, suffered loss of home, belongings, or simply stability. And from there, you forged a path forward through a life-altering global pandemic. How did you do this? How did you get to this place, here, now, where no one can take away what you've accomplished? Maybe you had the support of your family, your friends, or maybe you didn't. Maybe there was a gulf as wide as the Rio Grande between what you knew you needed to do and what others thought you should do. How did you dare to do this? How did you pull this off? Practice. It's all about practice. Some confuse practice with action that doesn't really count, as in, oh, it doesn't matter, it's just practice, it's not the real thing. But no, that's not how practice works. Practice is the action you take every time you need to deal with something. Sometimes we don't really give something our best effort, tell ourselves it doesn't count. But what we're practicing when we do that is not caring. That's not what you've been doing all this time. You have cared, you've been determined, you've listened to that voice that told you to keep working, keep believing, keep exposing yourself to the unknown. So what have you been practicing? Let me tell you what I have observed you practicing these few years while you were at SRJC. You've practiced believing that it's always possible to begin again, that there is more than one way to be in this world, that you didn't have to buy the premise that someone like you didn't belong here. You've practiced believing that even with all that you knew swept away, that you had the ability and the need to push forward with your classes, that it was important to do so. You might have doubted yourself at times, but in the end, what you practiced was believing in yourself, that you had something to offer the world, and that all you needed to do was finish that paper, write up that lab report, format that bibliography, memorize those lines for that play, and you would be able to pass that class, make the audience cheer, learn to identify pathogens. You practiced believing that while you felt discomfort or boredom, that there was a higher purpose compelling you to push through that resistance, to allow yourself to feel that negative thought, but to persevere regardless. You practiced being a yes. You practiced curiosity and let it overcome any fear you harbored. Maybe you practiced getting over it when you discovered that not everything comes naturally, that sometimes you have to try harder. You voluntarily put yourselves into new spaces strange to you, like hospitals, dental clinics, restaurant kitchens, or other spaces where maybe you couldn't speak the language or didn't know the routine. You figured out how to exist in those spaces, use new tools, share your ideas. And again, you did this under some pretty adverse conditions. Time and time, you begin again. I have some news for you. Your instructors, the administrators, the personnel who help you here at our service desks, all these colleagues of mine are practicing too. We've been practicing believing that we can keep your education moving forward while the conditions we've always done that in were swept away from us. Sometimes we realized we couldn't cope. Sometimes we still do. That happened to you too. You took a break, you stopped out, but yet you came back. We came back. We all began again. No one can take away what you've achieved from you. We'll keep doing this. So will you. I hate to tell you this, but today is called commencement for a reason. You are beginning again. Every time you begin again, ask yourself, what am I practicing with this action? Am I practicing challenging myself? Am I practicing taking risks that have the potential to make me stronger, more knowledgeable, more capable of doing new things? Or am I practicing passing up opportunities to find out that I'm capable of things I hadn't imagined? Am I practicing loving kindness to those who supported me along my journey? When practicing, we stumble, we fall, sometimes really hard. We give up, we change direction. Sometimes catastrophes happen. But everything that brought us to this point cannot take away the fact that we have arrived here now with the fullness of our lived experiences constantly strengthening our foundation. You have achieved incredible things. Your presence here today, those certificates and degrees you'll now be granted are evidence that you have practiced curiosity and confidence. You've shared your individual gifts and abilities with others. You've helped make this place, this college, a better place, a richer experience for everyone around you. No one can take that away from you or from us. We have a special bond, all of us here at SRJC. We have persevered together through some pretty hard times. You have succeeded. You have achieved great things. What will you begin next? What will you practice? Dr. Chong, it is a privilege and a great pleasure to present to you now the class of 2023.
Great. Thank you so much, Nancy. Great speech. Yeah. Thank you, Nancy, for those very, very wise words. Candidates, by the authority vested in me by the state of California and as directed by the Sonoma County Junior College District Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Associate in Arts or Associate in Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. Would the graduates please be seated? Okay. Wait, what happened here? All right. Reading the names of the graduates this morning are Ricardo Navarrete, Vice President of Student Service Emeritus, and Dr. Jeremy Spotherman, Senior Director of Institutional Effectiveness Research and Planning. Board President Dorothy Battenfeld and other board members and I will be presenting the diplomas this morning. Okay? So let's get it started. Okay?
Logan June K. Music, vocal. Rada Sonrisa Romero, music, instrumental. Stephanie Marie Beard, music, vocal. Sophia G. Fiar, music, vocal. Daniel B. Vassini, English for transfer and philosophy.
Daniela Sorelli, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Ryan Jacob Pendry, Business Administration for transfer. Alfredo J. Scardino, Psychology for transfer. James Anthony Brady, Digital Media, Film Studies, Film, Television, Electronic Media for transfer. Jackson G. Demarest, Film, Television, Electronic Media for transfer.
Trevor Valverde, Engineering. Lynn Renee Nuss, Natural Sciences. Xavier Rennie Aguilar, Culinary Arts. Jamie Virginia Shute, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Jeremy B. Baker, Social and Behavioral Sciences.
Clint Michael Washington, Business Administration. Tasha Kathleen Poznatovich, Natural Sciences. Lauren Ann Thethany, Spanish. Destiny D. Snell, Social Behavioral Sciences. Joy Alban Ashodian, Social and Behavioral Sciences.
Kirsten Ann Rucker, Natural Sciences. Ernesto Orozco Perez, Graphic Design. Jillian Chantel Davidson, Sociology for Transfer. Daniela Ingargiola, Biology for Transfer and Natural Sciences.
Goretti Carolina Torres Gudino, Social Justice Studies for Transfer. Christian Vieira, Journalism for Transfer. Andrew Villarreal, Psychology, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Matela Bulemaibao, Political Science for Transfer. Baldev Singh, Business Administration 2.0 for Transfer.
Kira Sequoia Witherspoon, Paralegal Studies. Wad Dafala, Natural Sciences. Andreas Hoa, Humanities. Robel Nigati Negash, Business Administration for Transfer. Brandon Dante Arenesis Sanchez, Business Real Estate.
Jack Brutus, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Rashid Rankin, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Gina L. Hurd, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Joshua Gray, Environmental Horticulture, Landscape Construction. Joseph Patrick Corcoran, Psychology for Transfer.
Taylor Tynes, Natural Sciences. Madison Graval, Natural Sciences and Social and Behavioral Sciences. Leslie Nomia Benuelos, Mathematics, Natural Sciences, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Ayana Perez Hernandez, Art History for Transfer, Humanities, Social and Behavioral Sciences, Studio Arts for Transfer. Carly Nicole Hayton, Sociology for Transfer.
Irina Krishilska, Civil Engineering Technology. Gerardo Castaneda, Fire Technology. Jessica Schmid, Natural Sciences. Connor William Canavan, Music Instrumental. Sean Eugene Young, Communication Studies for Transfer, Journalism.
Christian Ifraco Herrera, Business Human Resource Administration. Delta Benson, Social Behavioral Sciences. Maxwell Alexander Spurgeon, Animal Sciences. Ross Glasnow, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health. Alex Soares, Welding Technology.
Cameron Servani, Psychology for Transfer, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Justin James Mora, Communication Studies for Transfer. Rayshawn Malik Barrios, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Santino Chavez, Natural Sciences. Riley Morgan O'Mara, Administration of Justice, Sociology for Transfer.
Norma E. Lopez Galeon, Social Behavioral Sciences, Sociology for Transfer. Tabitha Susan Osteen, Art, Humanities. Juan Alberto Madrigal, Fire Technology, Natural Sciences. Mila Camille McClure, Natural Sciences. Emily Nightingale, Anthropology for Transfer.
Catherine Darlene Hansen, Art, Fashion Design. Ana Lourdes Gallardo, Child Development. Angel Lynn Merritt Burdick, Early Childhood, Social Behavioral Sciences. Isabel Victoria Marin, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Trevor James Roberti, Political Science.
Michaela Marie Schultz, Natural Sciences. Jordan Jen Venegas, Psychology for Transfer, Social Behavioral Sciences. Morgan Guzman, Social Behavioral Sciences, Social Justice Studies for Transfer. Carly Zudis, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health. Erica Nicole Braden, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health.
Cecilio Mandeville, Humanities. Anusan Kio Sihapanya, Administrative Assistant. Tracy Avila, Pre-Allied Health. Christine Stefandra Cullenborn, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Jana Mefford, English for Transfer.
Edie Julian Hatcher, Administration of Justice for Transfer, Social Behavioral Sciences. Jennifer N. Ray, Social Behavioral Sciences. Emily Neilani Vobel, Psychology for Transfer. Catherine Umelia Andrews, Interior Design. Melissa Angeline Vallejo, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health, Social Behavioral Sciences.
Maricruz Camargo, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health. Anabel Loya, Natural Sciences, Public Health Science, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Pamela Marie Kennemore, Digital Media, Digital Filmmaking. Julia Myers, Psychology for Transfer. Sydney McKee Sargent, Social and Behavioral Sciences.
Jacqueline Aponte Martinez, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health. Brandon Devin Benton, Administration of Justice for Transfer. Emiliano Efren Guzman, Political Science for Transfer, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Daniel Thompson, Social Behavioral Sciences, Sociology for Transfer. Christy Nicole Grove, Administrative Assistant, Business Human Resource Administration, Psychology, Social and Behavioral Sciences.
Dee Dee Kendall Phillips, Human Services, Alcohol and Drug, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Regina Janine Williams, Business Real Estate. Evelyn Rosales Romero, Early Childhood Education for Transfer. Olivia Janet Joy, Early Childhood Education for Transfer. Ali Nicole Foster, Art History for Transfer.
Maria Isabel Savin E. Juarez, Natural Sciences, Psychology for Transfer. Michaela Marie Madden, Humanities, Natural Sciences, Social Behavioral Sciences, Sociology for Transfer. Veronica Cano, Child Development. Max Rodrigo Solis Quintana, Agricultural Animal Sciences for Transfer, Natural Sciences. Devin Ulora Smith, Psychology, Sociology, and Behavioral Sciences.
Megan McCollum Voigt, Administration of Justice, Psychology, and Theater Arts for Transfer. Xander Todd Mitchell Maniaci, Computer Science, Digital Media, Game Development. Jocelyn Alcocer, Fire Technology. Maria Elida Guerrero, Child Development, Humanities, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Andres J. Caballeros, Biology, Chemistry, Natural Sciences.
Leslie Ramaha, Art History for Transfer, Humanities, Studio Arts for Transfer. Amaya Angeli Torres Macadog, Social Behavioral Sciences. Grace Isabella Vidori, Sociology for Transfer. Stephanie Lynn Wilson, Psychology, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Athena E. Gunlock, Human Services Advocacy.
Kitara K. McRae, Social and Behavioral Sciences, Anthropology for Transfer. Natalie Corinne Hernishin, Human Services Addiction and Advocacy Studies. Kendra Deanna Digler, Human Services Advocacy. Mary Louise McAllister, Humanities. Holly Nicole Montelli, Natural Sciences, Social and Behavioral Sciences.
Alex Fisher, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health. Keisha Marie Terrell, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health. Shay Barin Barrett, Business Administration for Transfer, Business Real Estate, Fire Technology, Natural Sciences. Ryan B. Swanson, Computer Science, Mathematics, Natural Sciences. Amadi Levette Michael Macarandre, Psychology for Transfer.
Diego Angel N. Garcia Navarrete, Mathematics, Natural Sciences, Physics. Cameron Bowen, Physics, Math, Natural Sciences. David Tyler Keeler, Humanities, Natural Sciences. Adrian Allen Duquette, Computer Studies, Web Full Stack Developer. Charles S. Wiltermood, Computer Studies, Web Full Stack Developer.
Carl E. Janred, Computer Studies, Web and Multimedia. Kim Davis Bartlett, Humanities, Oh my gosh. Philosophy, social behavioral sciences. Karen Chavez, psychology for transfer, social behavioral sciences. Huabin Abba Morgis, humanities, natural sciences, psychology for transfer, social behavioral sciences, sociology for transfer. Megan Coburn Eta, natural sciences.
Metzli Paulina Perez Flores, Business Human Resource Administration, Social Behavioral Sciences. Kevin Hatrich, Fire Technology. Austin Beeman Nepper, Business Administration for Transfer. Kai Honda, Business Administration for Transfer. Grace Esther Messenger, Communication Studies for Transfer.
Bianca Annelique Gatan, natural sciences. Lupe Maldonado, social behavioral sciences. Filomena Torche Rayleigh, natural sciences. Bonnie Caretaro, social behavioral sciences. Justine Valentine, psychology for transfer.
Tristan Armstrong, Economics for Transfer. Maya Amelia Colacion, Humanities. Jennifer G. Tapia Menera, Humanities, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health, Spanish. Johanna Mazariegos Garcia, Social and Behavioral Sciences, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health. Grace Ellen Kaiser, Humanities.
Trevor Isaac Hyde, humanities. Kiara L. Ortiz, graphic design. Stacy A. Price, human services, addiction studies, human services, advocacy. Jessica Sarah Hines, human services, addiction studies, social and behavioral sciences. Crystal Mariah Harp, human services, addiction studies, human services, advocacy, social and behavioral sciences, social justice for transfer, sociology for transfer.
David M. Buell, Jr., Human Services, Addiction Studies, Human Services, Advocacy. Emilia Isabel Avila, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Leslie Giselle Vargas, Psychology, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Adrián Refugio Avalos, Psychology for Transfer. Andrew Oseguera, Social and Behavioral Sciences.
Aurelianne Hertz, computer sciences. Sum Vong, natural sciences, psychology for transfer, social behavioral sciences. Joanna Contreras, child development. Jamal Shamah, psychology for transfer, social behavioral sciences. Jacob Monica Moore, administration of justice for transfer.
Jennifer Espinosa, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Tracy Stephanie Gonzalez, Natural Sciences, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Malaya Gibson, Business Administration 2.0 Economics, Natural Sciences, Political Science, Social Behavioral Sciences. Nima Hijazi, Business Administration 2.0. Michael C. Lewis, History, English, Humanities.
Aaron Alexander Alvarez, Natural Sciences. Lourdes Guzman Crespo, Medical Assistant, Administrative and Clinical. Elena Kaylin Padilla, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health. Marie Stephanie Brand Perez, Floral Design. Maya Rose Long Yursite, Sociology for Transfer.
Daisy Garcia Garcia, Administration of Justice for Transfer. Arisbeth Soledad Alcantara, Administration of Justice for Transfer. Elida Edith Lopez, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health, Social Behavioral Sciences. Giovanni Mizil Vieira Garcia, Humanities, Social Behavioral Sciences. Amada Andrade Vega, Sociology for Transfer.
Myra Yesenia Viela Magdaleno, Natural Sciences. Axel Fernando Moran Valencia, Automotive Technology. Sebastian Suarez, Automotive Technology. Madeline Crow, Psychology for Transfer, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Alicia Ray LaCroix, Anthropology, Social Behavioral Sciences.
Tiffany Ree Parker, Social Behavioral Sciences. Michaela Rose Simeon, History for Transfer. Marie Madeline Tour, Social Behavioral Sciences. Jemre D. Ludedirmer, Psychology for Transfer. Emma Rose Harris, Psychology for Transfer.
Irandi Carolina Hernandez Zepeda, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Jocelyn Michelle Reyes, Business Administration for Transfer. Erica Liliana Diaz, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Grace St. Marie, Biology, Natural Sciences. Luis Marin Gonzalez, Biology for Transfer, Natural Sciences.
Nina Suzuki, Natural Sciences. Selah Isabel Earnshaw, Political Science for Transfer, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Wendy Matos Gazzoli, Psychology, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Brooke Zellers, Social Behavioral Sciences, Administrative Assistant. Leticia Camarena Torres, Sociology for Transfer.
Mala Incandia Andrea Soda, Business Human Resource Administration. Danica Spiro, Dietitian Technician. Maite E. Keeley, Sociology. Andrea Beatrice Garita, Psychology, Social Behavioral Sciences. Lee James Strombaugh, Psychology for Transfer.
Kelsey Faith Diane Dariel, Spanish for Transfer. Brandon Steinberg, Business Administration for Transfer. Josie Lucas, Natural Sciences, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Areline Chavez, Business Administration for Transfer. Andrea Lynn Weber, Business Administration 2.0, Social and Behavioral Sciences.
Jasmine Renee Fogel, Natural Sciences. Brooke Thompson, Engineering, Mathematics. Arnold E. Nunez, Engineering. Jesse Galan Dehart Falk, Natural Sciences, Forest Management. Danielle Sophia Maxwell, Humanities, Social Behavioral Sciences.
Douglas Matthew Keener, Paralegal Studies. Andrea Maura Maldonado, Child Development, Early Childhood Education, Humanities, Social Behavioral Sciences, and Spanish for Transfer. Angel Antonio Saldivar Acevedo, Administration of Justice for Transfer, Political Science. Nancy Gonzalez Nava, Psychology for Transfer, Social Behavioral Sciences. Natasha Scott, Social and Behavioral Sciences.
Elizabeth Ero, Natural Sciences. Alicia Fergie Hodges, English for Transfer. Elizabeth Cortez, Administrative Assistant. Patricia Hernandez Sanchez, Psychology for Transfer, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Damon Joseph Hansen, Business, Real Estate.
Daisy Maribel Vasquez, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Caitlin Shelby Rasmussen, Business Administration for Transfer, Spanish. Kyla Short, Child Development, Early Childhood Education for Transfer. Jennifer Pacheco, Social Behavioral Sciences, Sociology. Mariah E. Shaw, Natural Sciences.
Akashiti Bere, Natural Sciences. Norlini Gutierrez, English. Luis Manuel Sandoval Flores, Pre-Allied Health, Social Behavioral Sciences, Natural Sciences. Karina Lacey, Psychology for Transfer. Levin Oyumowo Mushuto, Humanities, Natural Sciences, Social Behavioral Sciences.
Maria Isabel Lopez Barbosa, Business Administration for Transfer. Morin Lee Whaley IV, Social and Behavioral Sciences. David William Shear, Chemistry, Mathematics, Natural Sciences, Physics. Jennifer Love Williams, Chemistry, Natural Sciences. Catalina Nieto Tanner, Humanities, Natural Sciences.
Taylor Nicole Izzard, English for Transfer, Humanities. Quinn and Randall Daughter, Environmental Studies. Sadie Jane Ray, Humanities. Kayla R. Albini Curtis, Psychology for Transfer. Delina Darlene Loftiness, Business Human Resources Administration.
Robert Kennedy, Psychology for Transfer. Deborah Gomes Vitaliano, Natural Sciences, Psychology, Social Behavioral Sciences. Samantha Nicole Salser, Psychology for Transfer. Wendy Esmeralda Hurtado Garcia, Humanities. Natalia de Jesus Hernandez Mendez, Humanities.
Alexis Pick Nunez, Digital Media, Audio. Deborah Ann Profit, English for Transfer, Humanities. Rocio Jimenez Hernandez, Social Behavioral Sciences. Melissa Long, Social Behavioral Sciences. Mariela Martin de Campo, Child Development, Social Behavioral Sciences.
Anna Judith Alvihil, Child Development, Early Childhood Education. Berenice Paula Uraga Espinosa, Early Childhood Education. Nayeli Magdaleno, Early Childhood Education. Allura Michelle Baker, Natural Sciences. Karen Renelle Waller Gaffney, Environmental Horticulture, Landscape Design.
Stephanie Barajas Romero, Psychology for Transfer, Social Behavioral Sciences. Camille R. Smoke, Social Behavioral Sciences. Rachel Antonia Hershey, Psychology. Nicolas Paradise, Natural Sciences. Brianna Pordo Martinez, Social Behavioral Sciences, Sociology for Transfer. Are you?
Giovanni Gonzalez, Business Administration 2.0. Lena H. Barron, Floral Design. Jose Valiente, Environmental Horticulture, Landscape Design. Jose Francisco Hernandez Valdez, Fire Technology. Fernando Sanchez, History for Transfer.
Guadalupe Janet Pacheco, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Yasmin Victoria Torres, Natural Sciences. Ani Elizabeth Fowler, Natural Sciences. Nima Huma Sharpa, Environmental Studies. Annette Cortez Garaya, Business Administration 2.0 for Transfer.
Reina Hernandez, Social and Behavioral Sciences, Sociology for Transfer. Quetzali Teresa Gomez Ceballos, Child Development. Yesenia Vargas Ariola, Child Development. Kobe Nicholas Kernich, Fire Technology. Matteo Margelli, English for Transfer.
Jared Anthony Maestri, Natural Sciences. Sierra Nicole Mahalik, Communication Studies. Alex DT Psychology for Transfer. Taylor Victoria Yokobape, Yokape, Social Behavioral Sciences. Rose P. Nevin, Business Administration for Transfer.
Shireen Arikat, Natural Sciences. Ashley Grace Barr, Natural Sciences, Social Behavioral Sciences. Gloria V. Torres Juarez, Wine Studies, Enology. Sheila Sassin Iturbe, Early Childhood Education. Leslie Ararim Armenta Guzman, Social Behavioral Sciences and Psychology.
Erasim Azaminde, Social Behavioral Sciences. Anthony Hinchin, Anthropology, Social Behavioral Sciences. Daniela Escobar Garcia, Social Behavioral Sciences. Joshua Kozlowski, History for Transfer, Humanities, Mathematics for Transfer, Natural Sciences, Social Behavioral Sciences. Patrick Nuwata Pangzi, Natural Sciences.
Jackson Leffler, Digital Media 3D Modeling and Animation. Reti Joshi, Computer Science. Caitlin Gomez Martinez, Business Administration for Transfer. Chase Alicea Hart Vasquez, Early Childhood Education for Transfer. Paloma Apgar, Political Science for Transfer.
Maxine Grace Jones, Art, Humanities, Social Behavioral Sciences, Studio Arts for Transfer. Jacqueline Marie Page, Anthropology for Transfer, Art History for Transfer, Humanities, Studio Arts for Transfer. Ian E. Craybill, Computer Science. Lauren Taylor Katz, Digital Media, 3D Modeling and Animation. Magdalene Garcia, Business Administration for Transfer, Interior Design.
Eileen Quijas Garcia, Interior Design. Lisa Noel Scherf, Interior Design. Athena Benitez Santiago, Administration of Justice, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Veronica Perez Chavez, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Karen Espino Hernandez, Pre-Allied Health.
Myra Herrera Avendando, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Mariana Rodriguez Vasquez, Social Behavioral Sciences. Nancy Andrade Sanchez, Pre-Allied Health, Natural Sciences. Juan J. Hernandez Davila, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Eileen Doyle, Business Administration for Transfer, Social Behavioral Sciences.
Chanil Emma Malik, Administration of Justice for Transfer. Rose Marie Chavez, Administration of Justice, Psychology for Transfer. Jennifer Ojeda, Administration of Justice for Transfer. Carolina Ana Romero Jurado, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Sudaba Mohammed Nader, Business Administration for Transfer.
Ryan James McLean, Kinesiology for Transfer. Nicole Joanne Miller Redness, Administration for Justice for Transfer. Rubiana Villette Arco Higgins, Administration of Justice, Business and Social Behavioral Sciences. Irandi Gonzalez, Psychology for Transfer. Aurora Campos Reyes, Business Administration for Transfer.
Berta Montovan, Business Real Estate, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Catalina Restrepo, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Cameron Wagoner, Communications Studies. Denix Ava Stern, Psychology for Transfer, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Amy Rochelle Pimentel, Administration of Justice, History for Transfer.
Amy Sterling, Kinesiology for Transfer. Daniel Guerrero Gutierrez, Biology, chemistry, natural sciences. Juan Andrade Cordero, business administration for transfer. Luis Enrique Galvez Diaz, computer science. Mateus Gomez Toledo, kinesiology, sports medicine preparation.
Dylan Ryan Pierre, computer science. Jocelyn Camacho, computer science, natural sciences. Amaroni Camacho, history, social and behavioral sciences. Jose Alejandro Cardenas Gonzalez, computer studies, game development. Karina Esquer, sociology for transfer.
Emma Benson, English for transfer, humanities. Razel Paguana, digital media, 3D modeling and animation. Renez Paguana, digital media, 3D modeling, animation. Sivan Siom, graphic design. Katrina Siom, humanities, mathematics, social behavioral sciences.
Cameron Eric Bermender, music, instrumental. Virginia G. Ramirez, social and behavioral sciences. Audrey Grace Gillespie, psychology. Eli Raul Alfaro, natural sciences. Nicole Mercedes Castro, administration of justice, social and behavioral sciences.
Yarlene Carolina Monter Sosa, administration of justice for transfer. Tatiana Isabella Artero, natural sciences. Alina Salvatado, sociology for transfer. Miriam Belin Amador Mendita, sociology for transfer. Rosanna Galope Ramirez, administrative office professional.
Kieran Cross, economics for transfer. Orion Lewis Dowdall, psychology for transfer. Jacob Sievers, kinesiology for transfer. Pauline Josephine Woodard, kinesiology for transfer. Riley West, natural sciences.
Jessica Onate, natural sciences, social behavioral sciences. Otis Kane, kinesiology for transfer. Kinesiology, sports medicine preparation. Masayuki Hisatomi, kinesiology for transfer. Kinesiology, sports medicine preparation. Juan Diego Flores, kinesiology for transfer. Kinesiology, sports medicine preparation. Natural sciences. Sharina D. Desai, kinesiology for transfer. Kinesiology, sports medicine preparation. Natural sciences.
Aisha Lara Komar, kinesiology for transfer, sports medicine preparation. Brian Silva Ramirez, natural sciences. Kimberly Reyes, social behavioral sciences. Elida Samantha Abrego, business human resource administration. Christopher Jake Giudici, physics for transfer, natural sciences.
Sierra Ricks, administrative assistant. Byron Hansen, business administration for transfer, social and behavioral sciences. Gabriela Christina Gothman, natural sciences. Julia Heath, natural sciences. Hannah Harris, Natural Sciences.
Anisha Franklin, Humanities, Natural Sciences. Yuli Serrano, Administration of Justice for Transcripts. Luca David Ravandi, Computer Studies Game Development. Alicia Nicole Reyes, Social Behavioral Sciences. Esteban Arieta Gutierrez, Welding Technology.
Timuli Johanna Garcia Alvarez, Sociology for Transfer. Tony Pilula, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Amelia Kupradit, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health. Marisa N. Burris, Social Behavioral Sciences. Maria de Lourdes Farfan, Social Behavioral Sciences.
Zoe Jane House, Natural Sciences, Psychology for Transfer. Ashley M. Aloy Soto, Psychology for Transfer. Gloria Jimenez, Administration of Justice for Transfer. Connor Tuso, Computer Science. Isaac Guadalupe Cervante Valencia, Fitness, Nutrition, and Health.
Jack Thomas Gleason, Digital Media, 3D Modeling and Animation. Elizabeth Foster, Social Behavioral Sciences. Ava Amber Lynn Wilson, Social Behavioral Sciences. Ashley Madeline de Leon Gomez, Political Science for Transfer. Crystal Eileen Bowen, Humanities.
Lucas Morgan Bugel, Psychology for Transfer. Berenice Nunez Gomez, Administration of Justice, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Lauren Martinez, Psychology for Transfer. Abigail N. Solorio, Social Behavioral Sciences. Brian Torres Ruiz, Business Administration, Natural Sciences, Social Behavioral Sciences.
Inoue Rivero Santiago, Humanities. Evila Perez de Martinez, Dental Hygiene. Evan J. Buckley, Social Behavioral Sciences. Jade Lee Martinez, Business Administration 2.0 for Transfer, Natural Sciences, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Matthew Richard Gay, Natural Sciences.
Morelis Muthizia Gachu, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health. Cruz Antonio Saligan Perez, Administration of Justice. Jennifer Paola Fernandez, Psychology for Transfer, Social Behavioral Sciences. Vivian Leong Lurchi, Natural Sciences. Valeria Gomez Rosales, Psychology for Transfer.
Adriana Renee Busterto, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Katrina Nicole Sashin, Natural Sciences, Pre-Allied Health. Troy William Reed Jr., Social Behavioral Sciences. Caitlin Elise Burrell, Pre-Allied Health, Sociology for Transfer. Andrew Ryan Birdwell, environmental horticulture, landscape construction and maintenance, environmental horticulture, landscape design.
Jennifer Flores Arzate, bookkeeping and accounting. Marianne Cupo, business human resource administration. Jessica Marianne Patricio Resende, psychology, social behavioral sciences. Bianca Escamilla Carrero, psychology for transfer. Josue No Aguilar, culinary arts.
Brian Daniel Aparicio, business human resource administration. Ava Pamita, sociology for transfer, social behavioral sciences. Maritza Salazar, natural sciences, psychology for transfer, social and behavioral sciences. Christina M. Figueroa, psychology for transfer. Josue de Leon, administration of justice for transfer.
Jenner Carolyn Ellis, natural sciences. Aaliyah Lee Lemons, anthropology for transfer. Victoria Solis Ramos, humanities, sociology for transfer. Maria de la Asunción González Gutierrez, humanities, Latin American studies, social behavioral sciences. Nathan Kramer, natural sciences.
Luis Enrique Gonzalez Ruiz, business administration 2.0 for transfer. Jorge Vega, fitness, nutrition, and health. Kevin Solis, sustainable agriculture. Margarita Aguilar, natural sciences, pre-allied health, social behavioral sciences. Maritza Soto Velasquez, natural sciences, pre-allied health.
Marcelino Vasquez, social behavioral sciences. Amanda Priscilla Albeno, Spanish. Erika Negrete, administration of justice for transfer. Janalee Garcia Miranda, political science, social behavioral sciences. Matthew Camara, psychology for transfer, social and behavioral sciences.
Shayamini Da Bin Thrian, child development. Rosillo Menendez, Latin American studies, Spanish for transfer. Caitlin Nicole McFall, art and fashion design. Faith Emily Upright, natural sciences. Brianna Marino, administrative office professional, paralegal studies, social behavioral sciences.
Laurel W.B. Ross, social and behavioral sciences, social justice studies for transfer. Emmanuel Padilla Sanchez, administration of justice for transfer. Roy Ida, business administration 2.0. Ashley Elizabeth Hancock, communication studies for transfer. Tanner Anthony Rebizo, administration of justice for transfer, natural sciences.
Maria Araguin Sierro, natural sciences, social behavioral sciences. Jocelyn Sahori Toscano Cortez, natural sciences. Denise Esmeralda Leon Aguera, social behavioral sciences, sociology for transfer. Luis Catherine Cabrera, art. Robert Craig, Political Science for Transfer.
Jacob Herman, Communication Studies for Transfer. Jonathan Thomas Isaac, Communication Studies for Transfer. Adonis Gutierrez, Kinesiology for Transfer. Jacob Rosas, Environmental Studies. Daniela del Rosario Gomez Woodward, Natural Sciences, Political Science for Transfer, Social Behavioral Sciences.
Brianna Ochoa Zavalza, Psychology for Transfer, Social Behavioral Sciences, Social Justice Studies for Transfer, Sociology for Transfer. Ariela Valle, Humanities, Spanish for Transfer. Samantha Lisbeth Hernandez Arenas, Administration for Justice for Transfer. Diane Elaine Brickman, English for Transfer. Selena Nurina, Business Administration for Transfer, Social Behavioral Sciences.
Selena Sayavong, Business Administration for Transfer. Martha Valdez, Associate for Transfer, Sociology. Graciela Patricia Reed, Theater Arts. Diane Randall Harrison, Social Justice Studies, Sociology for Transfer. Theater Arts for Transfer. Inez Malpartida Rodriguez, Theater Arts for Transfer.
McJune Philidor, Theater Arts for Transfer. Abigail Claudia Miranda, Theater Arts for Transfer. Nathaniel Gillespie, Theater Arts. Bella Vienna Dovito, Natural Sciences. Ellie Brewer Welsh, Theater Arts Acting.
Miranda Jane Williams, Theater Arts for Transfer. Lisa Ann Vasquez, Psychology. Lisandra Andrea Vega, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Brittany A. Marufo, Administration of Justice for Transfer. Adalai Sitali Nolasco Barajas, Psychology for Transfer, Social and Behavioral Sciences.
Adriana Yake Ismata, Sociology for Transfer, Social Behavioral Sciences. Maria Maricela Navarro Macias, Humanities, Natural Sciences, Psychology for Transfer, Social Behavioral Sciences. Renato G. Redamazo Vienna, Business Administration for Transfer. Hans Magini Abuki, Business Administration for Transfer. Rubina Garcia, Psychology for Transfer.
Michelle Fragoso Aldana, Humanities for Transfer. Anthony Robinson, Digital Media Audio. Anthony Montoya, Humanities. Isabel Southard, Environmental Studies. Honored Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty and staff, beloved family and friends, esteemed president of the college, we say to you that concludes the presentation of the class of 2023.
Would the graduates please stand? Get up. Graduates, it's traditional to change the tassel of your mortarboard from the right side to the left side, signifying graduation. You may now do so. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2023. All right. I would now like to request that the members of the audience clear the pathways and remain in place in order for the platform party to lead the faculty and graduates in the traditional recessional. Thank you all for joining us at the 104th annual graduation ceremony. On behalf of my board, our faculty, our classified professionals, we wish the graduates much future success. And again, thank you for the families and friends for your support. Peace out.